Raise Robotics is an early stage startup based in San Francisco, and we've been around for about 3 years now. As you can see, we create robots to do construction work. We're really focused on trying to use robots to help move people out of harm's way on construction sites by using our machines to do very highly repetitive and very challenging work. Today, we primarily work on the building envelope as well as the structure. These are two scopes of work that are basically the largest line items of cost on any building, and it's areas where people have to be put in situations that are really hard for them. For example, working at height where there's danger of falling, or working on tasks where they're required to put a lot of strength in day after day, and that can lead to repetitive strain injuries. This is called Metalman. Right now, Metalman does 3 functions. It installs brackets on the edge of the building, it does layout, and it drills holes in the concrete. These are 3 applications that a lot of our customers have requested, and so we built out for them. In the future, we aim to turn Metalman into more of a multi-purpose platform where we can reuse our, basically it's a dual-arm mobile manipulator. So we can reuse the arms to perform a variety of different tasks by developing a suite of end effectors, basically a toolbox for a robot. Today, we mainly work with building envelope subcontractors and structural retrofit subcontractors, as well as some self-performed general contractors. These are people who typically do the work on site today, and like I mentioned, focusing on the building envelope and the structural scopes of work. I was always really interested in building buildings, and it's very clear that the world needs a lot more of them. But today, construction work is still very hard, and it's a very challenging industry to work in. And I thought that would be a great opportunity to take some of my skills that I learned in working on robots for unstructured environments, apply them to this industry to help people get their jobs done much safer and much more quickly. I think one of the really interesting things about robotics is that some of the advancements are actually very simple on paper, and one of the biggest things is just that robots are cheaper today. It's much easier to get a hold of very complex robotic equipment like these arms, very high quality camera and LiDAR sensors. A lot of this work has really contributed to making something like this very cost effective to our customers. And on top of that, we're also taking advantages, of course, of the latest advancements in AI. We've done a lot of work on our vision and control systems, developing some proprietary methods to allow our robots to see and feel and work safely in these very challenging environments. Yeah, I think a lot of our customers really like being able to take people away from the edge of the building. That's one of the primary advantages of using a machine like this, taking people away from a place where they're put in physical risk. And a lot of our customers are really excited about the ability to use a robot that can perform tasks very consistently. I would say that people are very good at their jobs, but they get tired as they work more, and when you get tired, there's a lot of chances of being careless and as well as making mistakes. And with a machine, we can guarantee very consistent and accurate work, which can save our customers a lot of headaches because they don't have to worry about the robot potentially making mistakes that they don't find out until it's too late. One of the biggest things we really focused on is making sure that we tackle applications on construction sites where we can really improve people's day-to-day working environment and not just save on the bottom line. I think that was the first priority of our company, and that's really translated into the design of the robot. As you can see here, our robots have arms that can reach very far, much further than a human can. And that allows it to work from a much safer operating position than a person would need to, for example, hanging off the edge of the building or need to be on a ladder and reaching very high up into the ceiling. In the beginning, we had a lot of challenges because we had a prototype. Like, for example, our first prototype, we had to disassemble it and reassemble on a construction site. But today, with our latest version of the robot, all of that has been mostly solved. Deploying a robot is quite simple. We load it onto a pallet, it gets shipped on site, it gets unloaded on site. The pack up and unloading procedure each take about half an hour, so it's very simple. We don't need any additional information beyond 2-dimensional floor plans for robots to operate on construction sites, which makes it very easy for our customers to set up and operate. They don't need full 3D BIM models, and we can integrate directly into existing construction environments with very little effort. What I would say is the first thing I recommend to any startup is to make sure to really talk to your customers and get to understand their problems. A lot of times, things that may seem obvious on the surface are actually much more complicated once you dive into the details. And spending a lot of time with your customers and really listening to what they say are their pain points is the most important thing. Otherwise than that, I would say don't be afraid of taking a big swing at problems. I think some of the really important problems are often things that seem very hard to tackle that end up actually being very achievable as long as you kind of take the time to really truly understand it. Construction tech is in a really exciting space. There's a lot of new projects coming down the pipeline, and there's a lot of investment into building America's physical infrastructure. I would encourage people to, if they're interested, especially new roboticists, to come look for opportunities to work in this space.